This is a zero mastery run for the 5-minute Fiasco, a Miami fiberwire contract. We have 5 targets spread throughout. We have 5 minutes exactly to do the contract, and we are going to be cutting it close because I'm assuming that this is true zero mastery on Miami, which means that we do not start with a loadout, and the only place we have is a smuggle point in the parking garage. If you have completed Miami at least once, you will have your loadout unlocked. I would just bring fiber wire and go from there. But I am going to demonstrate here that it is actually possible to complete the contract within 5 minutes from a true no mastery start. Now there is one small problem. You may notice that I smuggled in fishing line instead of fiber wire. For some reason, you cannot smuggle fiber wire into large smuggle points. I assume it's a bug because there's no sense to it at all. You can put them in small smuggle points. And you can also smuggle the measuring tape and the fishing line. So I'm assuming that's a bug. And we can just pretend that this is default fiber wire because it's functionally the exact same thing. So we're going to come to the van. Going to go ahead and grab the briefcase with the fiber wire in it, or the fishing line in this case. But I am going to discard the briefcase here in a second. Don't need it. And we're going to head for our first target through the garage here, since we're here anyway. And that's going to be Dwayne Neal, the guy who's kind of by himself over here on the bridge to the Kronstadt Center. Normally we just run by poor Dwayne because he's just so focused on the race that he ignores us as we run by in a mascot costume or whatever else we've been doing. But unfortunately he's the target this time, so we are going to have to take him out, and we're going to take his race marshal disguise because that gets us access to pretty much everywhere that we would want to go hereafter. So we're just going to roll with that for the rest of the contract. Easier than the suit, although really you could do this suit only if you really wanted to. It doesn't change too much, but it does allow us to get through the VIP area without a pass. So we're going to come this way, and we're heading now for Benjamin Smith, who's the guard who's kind of half asleep, half on his phone over by the porta potties at the far end. He's the farthest target away. One thing you could do, depending on your loadout and things like that, is you kind of go in a crescent from Dwayne through to the guys near his side of the race all the way to Smith as the last target. But we're actually going to do it in reverse here. We're going to kill Neal, we're going to come over to Smith, take him out, and then we're going to swing back around and exit the way we came in. So we're just throwing a coin to distract him because if you make him stand up and wire him, there's a chance that the medic over there notices, things like that. You could also set a coin down in front of him and he might go for it. He doesn't need to move very far to be out of detection range, but just to be safe, I've kind of moved him all the way over here. And I am going to leave him here. There is a Kronstadt mechanic who will eventually kind of walk over here, but by the time we finish the mission, he will have done so. I think he's triggered, and we have not triggered him yet, just the way we're going. So at this point, we're going to be very careful to avoid any guards, because they are enforcers of most of the actual disguises on this map. We're going to head into the garages here through one of the open garage doors. Grab a pit building ID card here so that we can get through here. We're going to run into the green garage here where we need to deal with this target here. We're going to throw a coin, and you kind of have to throw it very carefully, very close here, or he may not hear it. And I'm constantly sneaking glances over here because there's a guy by the van and he comes in and out. He's not doing so right now, so I think we're pretty much fine. But just to be on the safe side, just keep an eye out for him. And obviously, if he's coming through that door, do not be wiring this guy. We're going to drag him out of sight. Now, we could go that way, but there's a camera. If you've got a gun, then just shoot the camera as you come through. It's very easy. Otherwise, you're going to either need to use a pick or some keys that the guard dropped that I didn't pick up to get through that door, or you can just run this way. Again, I'm just kind of showing off that there's plenty of time, even with a very inefficient routing here where we're stopping or going all sorts of other places. So we'll use our coin here, throw it back into the corner. That'll get this race marshal to kind of walk out of line of sight of the patrolling guard. Now, you don't have to wait until he's all the way back. You can get him pretty much as soon as he's by those red things, and he will be out of sight because of the guard just kind of stopping a little too early. So no one should ever see him here. You can hide him if you want and you have the time, but we are cutting it a bit close here, less than a minute left to get Daryl Bunker. Fortunately, he's right by the exit, which is, of course, the main entrance. So all we need to do is get his attention, wire him, and then leave. So we'll just throw a coin over here. He should walk over Now, where I'm about to wire him is not really super safe. NPCs can see it eventually, but we're going to be exiting so quickly that there's really no risk here. I wouldn't leave him here. I'd drag him behind those dividers or something, but we don't really have time for that, so we're just going to head for the exit and get on out. So with about 20 seconds to spare, you can see that we pretty much stacked the deck against ourselves as much as possible and still came out on top. So if you've got a better loadout than that, then you should have no trouble at all. Just, bring your gun, bring your fiber wire. You can skip the entire stuff with the parking garage. Makes it much easier. So you've got plenty of time on this.